Hi. I'm reading in this publication, Bearing Thorough Witness About God's Kingdom. I'm in chapter 2. The chapter is called You Will Be Witnesses of Me. They are discussing the departure of Christ from the earth, witnessed by the apostles. This is their reasoning. I'm going to read paragraphs 14 and 15. As mentioned at the outset of this chapter, Jesus rose from the earth and disappeared from view. Yet the 11 apostles kept standing there, looking into the sky. Finally, 2 angels appeared and offered this gentle rebuke. Men of Galilee, why do you stand looking into the sky? For this Jesus, who was received up from you into the sky, will come thus in the same manner as you have beheld him going into the sky. Did the angels mean that Jesus would return in the same body, as some religionists teach? No, they did not. How do we know? The angels said that Jesus would return not in the same form, but in the same manner. In what manner did he depart? He was out of sight when the angels spoke. Only those few men, the apostles, perceived that Jesus had left the vicinity of the earth and was on his way to his Father in heaven. The manner of Christ's return was to be similar. So it has been. Today, only those with spiritual discernment realize that Jesus is present in kingly power. We need to discern the evidence of his presence and convey it to others so that they too may see the urgency of our times. All right, so first of all, they're making this about perception or discernment rather than visibility. But the apostles in the account literally see Jesus rise into the sky. And they are told that he will come again in like manner. They're not told, it's not about him not being seen anymore. It's about he will return like he left. They make it he's invisible now because they can't see him anymore. So this kind of arguing I don't get at all. If someone were in the room with me right now and they left the room, I would see it. I would see them leaving with my eyes, and I would not assume that they had become invisible because they went into the next room and I couldn't see them anymore. But this is what we're being asked to believe, that he became invisible. Note the warnings given in Matthew 24 when it's talking about his return. Matthew 24, verses 23 to 27 reads, Then if anyone says to you, Look, here is the Christ, or there, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you beforehand. Therefore, if they say to you, Look, he is in the desert, do not go out. Or look, he is in the inner rooms, do not believe it. For as the lightning comes from the east and flashes to the west, so also will be the coming of the Son of Man be. So we're warned not to believe those that tell us he's in a secret place or a hidden place, or I think in the New World it might say the inner chamber. We're warned not to believe people who tell us that. His return will be as obvious as lightning. Lightning you see. Also, Revelation 1:7, when it talks about his return, says, every eye will see, not some will discern. I noticed another thing in this paragraph that we just finished reading. At the end of the paragraph, they said, today, only those with spiritual discernment realize that Jesus is present in kingly power. We need to discern the evidence of his presence and convey it to others so they too may see the urgency of our times. The reason they want to talk about times and seasons, or feel they have to, is because they believe he's already here. They're not waiting to see him with literal eyes. They think he's already here. They think it's about discernment. So that almost forces them to be in a situation where they're talking about times and seasons. And they're told not to do that by Christ. The apostles are told not to talk about times and seasons, to witness about him, about Christ, him and his resurrection. So in the previous video, I had quoted a paragraph 9. They say that if Christians today are unduly concerned about the timing of the end of the system of things, they are, in effect, worrying about what does not belong to them. So I think the last time, this is a remarkable statement from a people who have spent their entire history talking about times and seasons. The very next paragraphs commends the apostles as being spiritually alert, watching for evidence that Jehovah was about to act. And then they say, this is the attitude we need to cultivate today. In fact, these climactic last days make it even more urgent that we do so. We are using the very same verses that were written by the apostles to say, well, it's different for us. We can talk about these things. They wrote those passages, and they were told not to talk about times and seasons. I'm going to link to 2 videos. The first one is called God Rejects Clergy for Their Refusal to Accept Russell's 1874 to 1878 Inner Chamber Parousia. So this was from an earlier version of the Watchtowers writing their history. Their a publication, they make this statement that God rejects the clergy for denying something or not accepting something that they too have rejected since. The second video is Revelation chapter 1, 3 jolts for Jehovah's Witnesses. Visible coming, one class, whose glory. Till the next time.